All right, friends, we're going to go ahead and get started. As we're getting ready for practice today, I do not have any specific prop usage planned, but if there's something that you like to use, make sure to grab that. And I just start sitting up on a pillow. My knee has just been really odd lately, so like, I'm not even gonna, I'm just gonna sit like this. Please sit however it makes sense to you. So you don't have to sit like me, but this is working for me where it's not weird in your knee. So if I do anything weird, it's just, pretend it's not weird, or maybe you do something, I don't know, whatever. Things are weird. Life is weird. Settling into practice today, it's like this gorgeous, beautiful, sunny day here in Portland, and it's so funny to me how, especially those of us who are like sunny weather people, we get like really excited about like, oh, it's sunny and it's hot, and I'm totally that person. But then like we've gotten a couple of days, it's gonna get kind of cold and rainy, and there's like this negative response to that, which is like, it's unfortunate because it also goes back to that whole like watching the stories that we tell ourselves sort of thing. Because like, I need it to rain. We need it to rain here. We need this like consistent like development of ebb and flow. We need to have different weather patterns, and we need to hopefully not have everything light on fire this summer. So we have this like negative narrative that surrounds things, and then it's like also like I've got this knee situation, and I'm trying not to like be really upset about it, just being like kind of mindful about it, like this is a time for me to slow down, to examine, like, just making sure I'm caring for myself and being careful about that narrative, being careful about where we go with certain things. It's kind of so it's this old Buddhist proverb: watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your character. And watch your character, it becomes your destiny. And at the very least, and at the very like shallowest level, we can even take that like back to the weather. Like if you do live in the Northwest, or you live in Portland, or you live in a place that, it has weather patterns like this, where you have like 2 months of like sunny warmness. If that's all you're living for and all that's making you happy, you have like a sixth of the year that we're going to be in like maybe not the best headspace and the best joy factor, or at least we would tell ourselves we're not going to be super joyful because it's not really warm and sunny, when that's just not, it's not realistic, it's not pleasant, it's not like the best use of our energy, right? Just trying to watch where we're taking our focus and our energy with that stuff. So, because I want to have a destiny of joy and happiness, even if it's not warm and sunny all the time. Yeah. So we'll start with face brushing. Take your index finger and your thumb together. Begin at the center of your forehead. Brush outwards towards your temples. And then starting at the sides of your nose, brushing out to your temples along your cheekbones. And going from your temples down to your chin on your jawline. And from the sides of your nose down to your chin along your laugh lines. And moving your fingertips underneath and behind your ears, lifting from the bony spot that's back there. Take a moment to align your spine by feeling the back of your skull lift up, the fronts of your ribs drop down, and then feel maybe your tailbone directs downwards a little bit more, especially if you're sitting like up like I am on the heels. Just noticing how you can expand your back space without like rolling forward. Take another breath in. Exhale, drop your hands down into your lap. Take a few breaths. Consider again that proverb. Watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your character, and watch your character, it becomes your destiny. Next time you take a breath in nice and deeply through the nose, go ahead and exhale out through your mouth. Again, like that. I'll take 3 ohms together. Big breath in. Start to open our eyes. You're going to start down on your back. So go ahead and remove whatever you might have been sitting on. And come down onto that. Spin your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side, massaging your lower back into the floor. Set your feet down. Take your right ankle and place it on your left knee. Keep your foot flexed sharply with the toes drawing up towards your shin. And then reach in between your arms with your legs with your right arm. You're going to hold onto the back of your left thigh and flex your left foot, pushing that left foot forward. A little bit more action through the legs. Rolling your collarbones more open if you have the space to. If your head is like kind of tense or you feel your chin jutting up, go ahead and grab something, put it back behind your head. Give yourself a little boost there. Take 3 more deep breaths. One more big breath in. Exhaling. And then release your left leg and your right leg down. Just go ahead and roll your hips a little bit side to side. Settling, and then taking your left ankle up onto your right knee, flex the foot, keep it active, and then you're going to lift the right leg up, keep it active, left arm in between the legs, and 2 feet are flexed and strong. You're kind of pushing your right foot forward here, trying to relax your collarbones open. Big breath in. Big breath out. And again, like that. Big inhale. Big exhale. Releasing your right foot and then your left foot down. And then go ahead and rock your hips a little bit side to side. And wiggle your feet a little bit wider. They're going to be a little wider than your hips. Maybe not width apart. Reach your arms back behind you and reach them to the point that you feel your waist starting to lift up. Maybe it gets up off of the mat. Maybe you just feel yourself getting a little bit lighter through the midsection of your spine. And then try to soften your inner shoulders so you feel the outer armpits reaching out to the hands a little bit more. Your arms can be wide if your shoulders are feeling tense. They don't have to be in. close to your head. Take 2 more breaths like this. Exhaling and relaxing your shoulders. And you can leave your arms flopped open if that's comfortable to you, or hold onto your elbows to perhaps amp this up a little bit. Flex your feet again. We're going to drop both knees over towards the right side and then reach your left knee away from you. Relax your inner shoulders so your outer armpits extend the elbows back. And for a little extra oomph, if you can coordinate this between your mind and your body, you're going to feel your left hip point trying to tuck upwards towards your belly button. And that might get the very middle of your quad muscle, like the belly, the center of your quad muscle, to become a little bit more fiery. And then you might have to remind yourself to relax your jaw and your inner shoulders. Feel the outer armpits reach up to your elbows. One more breath in. Stay there, breathe out. Roll the knees up, take them over to the other side. Keep those toes flexed up strong. So keeping the ankles engaged, it helps to keep the knees from getting a little bit wonky, lest you end up like me. Reach your top knee away from you, that right knee. Maybe you're summoning your hip bone up towards your belly button, and the outer armpits extend out through your elbows. By the way, I know exactly what happened to my knee. I fell trying to chase my friend's dog, and you know, it's a couple decades into life. Apparently, you don't bounce back from that as easily. So I just got a bruise, and there's fluid and stuff. So just being kind to it. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Back to the center. You're going to bring the knees up, wiggle your feet and about hip width apart, up nice and close to your hips. Take your arms down by your sides, wiggle your shoulders under your back. And then you're going to press down into your feet. I want you to keep most of your back on the ground. You're just going to direct your tailbone upwards towards your knees, and honestly, it's more upwards towards the lower leg bones. And exhale. Push into the floor. Inhale, curl your tailbone up. Exhale, lower. Do this a few more times. Watch if your knees have a tendency to kind of wave outwards at all or inwards. Just being aware of that, making sure you're pressing down into all 4 corners of your feet. And if that's going well, we're going to leave your whole rib cage on the ground, so don't lift the ribs up, but maybe you do get the pelvis up. And lower it down. And inhale, get the pelvis up. Exhale, lower it down. Notice how the weight shifts in your feet and if your knees wiggle around. And it's fine if they do, right? Like there might be just like a way that your body has a tendency to move. You just become more intentional about keeping it balanced, about what you can do to keep things balanced. If that's going well, you're going to start to lift up so that your low ribs do come up off the ground, but don't go to your full max. See if you can start to roll backbone by backbone coming up. So that just kind of the upper ribs are down on the mat, raising and lowering, and noticing again if there's any change in the way that your knees might change directions at all. And then we're going to start to roll all the way up into your fullest bridge pose that you can get into at the beginning of practice. Go ahead and go all the way up. Maybe wiggle your shoulders in again. And then exhale, lower all the way down. And then with your breath, do that 2 more times. Inhale, try to get to the fullest expression you can at this moment. Exhale, lower it down. And one more time. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale all the way down. And then bring your knees into your chest and stretch out your core glutes that did not probably expect to have quite that much attention at this point. And then roll over to one side. So you're gonna roll over and lay on one side. It doesn't matter which one, and we're gonna think about the top and bottom side. So I want you to make the bottom side as long as you can. Try not to be back on the back, squishy part of your bum, get onto the flat side part. And I'm holding behind my knee here, tucking my knee upwards. You might feel better about holding onto your kneecap. I don't. I'm preferring to hold under it right now. And try to relax your head. Now try to push out through the big toe mound on your bottom leg. You're gonna notice your hip, your thigh bone inside of your hip socket on that top leg. It's probably crunching upwards towards your armpit, right? Or towards the top of your hip socket. We need to flex that top foot. Feel the foot pressing out, and that might also start to drop that thigh bone down to the bottom of your hip socket. I want you to think now of dropping your hip bone down to the bottom of your hip socket. And you might have a little bit more like air for your upper butt to breathe if it did that sort of thing. And then you're going to start to extend the leg just as much as is reasonable for you. It doesn't even have to get all the way straight. We're going to think of this hip going down the bottom of your hip socket. That's to see what changes the rotation there. And then for fun, see if you can keep reaching that leg away from you as you lower it all the way down onto the ground. It doesn't have to be straight. Okay. And then you're going to take the leg up into a fallen tree pose. You can place that on the inside of your thigh, and then maybe you check and see if you can open yourself up a little bit more. Reach that knee away from you. It's going to help to connect your hip bones upwards. See if you can bring your fingertips onto your knee. If it's hard to balance, leave your fingertips on the floor. Breathing in. Breathing out. Relax. You're going to roll over to the other side. You can just go ahead and roll over. I'm going to flip over so that I'm facing you. And then you're going to lay down and reach up and catch either your kneecap or out under your knees like so. Keep reminding your head that it can rest on your arm, that your neck muscles do not have to be running the show here. They just really, really, really want to be helpful. And then you're going to flex the bottom foot, which might make your balance a little bit more precarious. And then you're going to flex the top foot as you feel your hip bone dropping down. Either pressing into the top foot is helping that to happen. Big breath in. Breathing out. One more time. Let out the exhale. And then you're going to start to extend the leg, and it doesn't have to get straight, and it doesn't have to get in right near your face. So you can drop the hip bone down. Yeah, oh man, it's so hard to balance there. And then for fun, so it goes as slow as you want it to be. You're going to extend that leg all the way, all the way, all the way down. Reach it away, reach it away, reach it away, reach it away, reach it away. And then there you are. Moving into your fallen tree pose. So you're going to bring that foot to the inside of the leg. You're going to think of that knee opening out. I think of the thigh bone reaching out. You should already feel the flex of your hips lifting and connecting in. And then fingertips are down or onto your knees. Notice where there's tension, if you need that tension in those places. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. And release that leg. You're going to roll over onto your belly. Bring your hands in right behind your shoulders. Take an inhale up in a cobra pose. Exhale, soften your collarbones open. Inhale, feel things maybe open up a bit more. Exhale, soften down. And then press up onto your hands and knees. Take your time to give yourself whatever kind of padding under your knees would be really wonderful and good for your body. And then take your right foot forward outside of your right hand. You're going to do a little bit of stirring the pot here. So kind of making some circles in your hips, loosening up the pelvis and the thigh bone sockets a little bit more. Stir it in the other direction. Start to settle back in center. See if you can wiggle your foot a little bit further forward. And then bring your fingertips forward so that they're more in line with your toes. And then let your hips rest forward and your heart rest forward. Notice where the weight is in your right foot. See if you can balance the weight in your foot. So maybe it's moving more towards your pinky toes. Push down into the big toe mound as well. Breathing in. Breathing out. Turn your right knee and toe outwards now. So you've got a little bit more dropping forward in the hips. You should have your knee and toe facing the same way. Leave the left hand down. You're going to let your left hip drop down a little bit more. So we're starting a twist. You can bring your hand to your right thigh or reach your right arm back behind you. You can summon your back foot if that's a good idea for you today. I'm going to leave it. That's my weird knee. Push the floor away. Your heart should still be opening. One more exhale. And then unwind the twist. You're going to turn your knee and toe to face forward. Bring them in a little bit, but of course not on that tightrope kind of space. A little more train chops. And then bring your hands up onto your front thigh. Take your right hand to your hip, your left hand to your knee. Be careful not to pull it inwards. Lift the belly, lift the front of your hips, get taller from right behind your ears. Exhale, soften your belly. Stay here or put your left elbow down onto your knee. Soften your belly, feel your collarbones open, breathe in. Exhale. Stay here or bring the right hand to your left hand. See if you can push into the hands and maybe open the chest a little bit more. Keep dropping that belly into your torso. One more breath in. Deep breath out. And you're going to unwind yourself and come up. Take your arms back. You can put your hands on your hips or interlace your fingers back behind your back. Keep pushing down in the whole front of the foot, letting your heart float up and your arms drop back. Soften your jaw muscles. Breathe in. Stay there. Exhale. And then release your hands down and go ahead and draw that right leg back. A little shifting your hips side to side. We did a lot of work on the one side. And we're going to start to move into the other one. I'm going to turn around so I can face you. You're going to take your left foot outside of your left hand. And then start doing some circles and rolling around, stirring into that hip space. Go ahead and start stirring in the other direction. Settling in center. I'm going to bring maybe your foot a little bit further forward. Try to get your hands or your fingertips more in line with your toes. And then feel your heart pushing up. Yeah, fingertips needs to so much more space. You can have your hands on blocks if that's something that you enjoy in your practice, so that just gives you more space. Do what you need and give your body what it needs in order to feel good as part of that listening. Conscious of the way that we tell these stories to ourselves. Breathing in. Softening something as you breathe out. And then you're going to take your knee and your toe and turn them out. Watch that there's the same degree of turn out in both the knee and the toe. We'll leave the right hand down, drop the right hip forward a little bit more, and then lift the heart up and back towards the back foot. And you could summon that back foot, or you can leave it. I'm just going to leave it because I did on the other side, although you don't have to if you did it on the other side. Open that chest up. This is the all-in-one. It's a big hip opener, it's a big twist, and it's a big heart opener. Push the floor away in the bottom arm. Breathe in. Stay there. Exhale. And then you're gonna unwind the twist so that you can bring that foot in a little bit more. And then you're gonna come up into another twist. This time with the hand underneath the hand on the head. Feel your ears lift up. Nice and long through the spine, space between your vertebrae. Exhale, soften your belly, relax your collarbones. Stay here or put your right elbow down on your left knee. So you can push into both the foot and the elbow and feel your heart open up. Exhale, stay here or push both hands together. Lift your heart to your thumbs, soften your belly back, reach your ears out of your shoulders and away from your tailbone. One more exhale. Go ahead and unwind yourself. We're going to come all the way up. Once you get your heart up above your hips, interlace your fingers back, send your heart up, your knuckles back, collarbones open, soften your jaw, breathing in. Stay there, breathe out. Release your hands, take them down, go ahead and slide your left leg back to the table pose. One more thing down here before we start to work ourselves upwards. Push down into your hands, feel your heart, lift up to the backs of your ribs, take your right leg back behind you here, roll the inner thigh up towards the ceiling. You can stay here and draw your knee into your nose or reach your left arm forward, inhale, exhale. We're going to draw knee to nose or knee to elbow. Couple more. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, draw it in. Keep trying to push your heart up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, draw it in. Two more on your own. You can be up on your right fingertips if that's better for your wrist. Try to lift that inner thigh on the back leg. Exhale, draw it in. We're going to extend it once more and then set it down. Little things. If you bear down into your shoulders or down into your wrists, and all of that weight is going to start to sink in on you. Just hopefully keep expanding. You're going to leave your right knee down this time. Take your left leg back. Roll that inner thigh up. So there's a difference between I'm opening the hip and I'm squaring the hips. Maybe you reach the right arm forward. Inhale, exhale, elbow to knee or knee to nose. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, drive in. Pushing the floor away. Inhale, extend, inner thigh lift. Exhale, draw it in. Two more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, one more extension. And then hands down, knees down. And spread your fingertips out, push strong into them. You're gonna curl your toes under and come into plank pose. You might just do it for one breath and put your knees down, or you can do it for two more breaths with us. Exhale, push the floor away. Inhale. Exhale, don't drop your knees down. You're gonna come down onto your forearms. Drop your belly down, let your heart open up. Your collarbones open, not pressing down into the forearms and all of your wide spread fingers. You have an option to leave your knees down and just lift your hips up a little bit, which is also strong, especially if you're drawing your hips up towards your ribs, or you can get your knees up into forearm plank for two more breaths. Push the floor away, breathe in. Push the floor away, breathe out. Relax your hips down, untuck your toes, let the heart open up and forward. Go ahead and come down, wide elbows, rest your head. Just a brief visit, give yourself another breath in and out to settle. And then hands come in under your shoulders. Lift your belly. You're going to push yourself off the floor and then press back into downward facing dog. Walk through your heels a few times. Stretch those calves out. And then bring the feet forward to your hands. Hands back to your feet. Find a forward fold. Relax the backs of your legs. Let your bend. Let your underbutt unfold. Exhale. Bring your fingertips to your shins. Lift your heart up and out. Send the tailbone backwards. Exhale, stay there. Inhale, lift the heart a little more. Exhale, fold it down. Let the back, split the underbuck. Let that unfold. Let it open up. Yeah. One more breath out. And then come all the way up. Lifting the fronts of your hips when you lift those arms. Soften the inner shoulders. Feel the outer armpits. Extend your fingertips up. And then again, strap down into your heart. I'm going to take the legs out real wide here. All 10 toes facing forward. Take your arms, either interlace your hands behind your back or bring your hands to your hips. You want to take an open chest into this fold. Come all the way down. When you get down there, you're probably going to have to adjust your shoulders a little bit, adjusting your arm bones inside of the shoulder sockets. Maybe you wiggle, maybe you feel them rolling up and open. And being aware of where the weight is in your feet. See if you can balance the weight in your feet. And then if you want more, there's a little bit more weight in the toes, but you're not lifting your heels up. And then be sure that your neck muscles are not tightly trying to hold your head into your body. That will remain attached. Exhale. Release the hands to your hips, little bend to the knees, stretch it out, draw yourself back up. And I'll mirror you here. We're going to come over towards the right side, turning the toes over all the way, a little bit of the way, bend into the knee, come into warrior two. Feel the fronts of your hips lifting up. And then lift the heart up, peaceful warrior. Check out that front knee, be sure it's still tracking in the right direction. One more inhale, feel that outer armpit reach, and then come forward, side angle. And the fronts of your hips lifting up again. Push into that back foot. Relax from that outer armpit, push down to the bottom elbow. One more exhale. All the way back up to warrior two. Straighten the leg, reach the arms. See if you can shift in the feet here, so all 10 toes face forward. And then keep the arms up as you shift the feet over towards the left side. And drop it back down into warrior two. Fronts of the hips lift up, heart lifts up towards your left arm, soften that inner shoulder. Feeling this growth outwards. Check out that front knee. Okay, good. Big inhale. Exhale, coming forward, side angle. Now lift up the fronts of your hips again because you might have lost it like I do each and every stupid time. Push into that back foot. Relax that inner shoulder. Release the backs of your ears. Breathing in. Breathing out. And back up to warrior two. Just straighten the legs, reach the arms up and forward, and then bring the hands down. Go ahead and bring your feet in. You're going to cross your left leg back behind your right. Reach your left arm up and hold on to it with your right. Little side bend, pushing into the back foot. See if you can lift the fronts of your hips a little bit more here. Breathing out. Coming up. Switching sides. You're going to hold onto your right wrist, right leg behind. Lift the fronts of the hips. Go up and over. Push into that back foot a little bit more if you can. Breathing out. Taking it up. Release your arms. Unwind your legs. Wiggle things out a little bit. We're going to come into warrior one. I'm going to do this. Yep, okay. So warrior one, face to the front of your space. Put your right leg forward. So I'm not really mirroring you anymore. I'll just kind of do like this. You're going to come into warrior one. Lift your arms. Lift your inner thighs. So you might feel your spine get up a little bit taller. And you're going to get this outer hip to keep drawing towards that back foot. Stay lifted in your chest, take your arms back, hold your hips or interlace your hands behind your back. Get your heart a little bit more open, breathe in. Humble warrior, as you breathe out, keep drawing that outer hip back towards the back foot. Drop yourself as far down as is reasonably comfortable to you, where you can still breathe, still stay within some semblance of connection. Breathing in. Breathing out. You're going to release your arms, look forward, come back up to warrior one. Bring your hands to your heart. See if you can lift your left knee up in front of you before you set it down. So come all the way up and then set it down. And then you're going to take your left foot, you're just going to roll around on your toes a few times. Roll the foot a little bit more open. So we're going to do a lot of balancing. If you wanted to move somewhere else at this point for just a moment, or make sure you have a chair or a couch, whatever, or just be willing to fall over. Stand down on your left leg, lift your inner thigh, take the right leg up. Just put your arms out. Oh man, I can't change my focus. And then catch the leg. Okay. And then you might be able to lift up a little bit taller. Flex this foot. Okay, your butt is probably right underneath you, right? It's not like back there or anything. You're not tipping your heart forward. I want you to keep your butt underneath you. Think of dropping this thigh bone down and open the leg up to the side. So what I see often is like this happens. You're going to keep your bum right underneath you. Open the leg. And drive down stronger on that standing leg. Good. Oh my gosh. I can't keep looking at different things. Okay, you're going to take the right leg forward now. Bend into your left knee. Put the right ankle down on it. And then bring your hands to your heart. Okay. Now you can stay here. You might bring your hands to your shin. You might bring your hands to the floor. Your standing leg might be more bent than my weird leg that isn't really doing it. You could also turn your head over towards the left. Maybe try to bring your right elbow to just kind of tap or rest in your right foot. And then we're all going to come up. See if you can lift your right knee up before you set it down. Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot for a hot day on the second floor. That's a lot for any day. Okay. We did it all. Ready? Preemptive wiggle. And then step your right foot back from warrior one, left side. Lift your arms up, lift your inner thighs. You're going to keep feeling your outer right foot or left thigh going back. And then take your arms down behind you, interlace your fingers, or put your hands on your hips. Inhale, open that chest, take it forward, exhale. Keep drawing that outer hip back, push down strongly into your left foot, release your collarbones and the back of your neck. One more exhale. Release your hands, look forward, come all the way up. And then you're going to bring your hands into your heart. See if you can come all the way up, bringing your right knee up before you set the foot down. Set it down. And then you're going to wiggle around on your right foot a little bit, creating a little bit more flexible space. So hopefully the balance is going to go better. And I'm not going to look at you. I'm just going to stare at 10 petty. It's going to be fun. So take your leg up. You're going to summon it with that inner thigh. Go ahead and catch it for a moment. And keep that. Keep those hips right up underneath you. And you're going to open the leg out to your side, dropping your thigh bone down to the bottom of your hip, not sitting into this one, lifting everything up. No booty behind you, it's right underneath you. And then you're going to bend into your right leg, put your left ankle on your knee. Now your booty goes back behind you. Keep this foot flexed. Oh, yes. Especially after all of that balance work. Now, you might stay here. Oh, hands to your shin, hands to the floor, or go soften that belly back to bring left elbow to left foot if that's what you're doing. There we go. Okay, got it. And then unwind. See if you can lift the knee up before you set it down. Wiggle hips out. Take your feet just a little bit wider. Maybe just a little bit wider than hip width. Let's take an inhale, lift your arms, exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need. Do whatever you gotta do to relax your head and your neck in this space. Exhale. Then bend your left knee more, straighten your right leg a little bit more. Take your right arm up in the air, releasing that outer hip. Breathing in and out. Switch sides. Take your right arm down, bend your right leg more. Take the left arm up as you straight-ish or straighten your left leg. Let that hip get a little bit sassy. Exhale. Go ahead and drop both hands down, release your head, give a little bobble. And halfway up, lifting your heart, tailbone goes back, long spine. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Go ahead and walk the feet back, finding downward dog. Same kind of heart strong, tailbone lifting up and back action you had in just the last pose. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One breath in plank pose. Bring your heart above your thumbs. You might have to adjust your feet a little bit. Inhale. Exhale. Lower knees, lower all the way down onto your belly. Make a pillow for your head with your hands. Peek your chin if that feels good. More head. One more breath. Start to lift your head. You're going to set up for Sphinx pose again. Try to bring your legs out wider than your hips, so just a little bit more space in your low back. You're going to press. You can stay, if this is a lot for your lower back, I want you to stay here. Maybe you slide your hands just an inch or so forward, and then try to push down in your hands, feeling your belly stretch up. Might be able to bring the hands in closer comfortably. So I said wide legs, relax your glutes, lift your belly up into your heart, broaden your collarbones. You're only going as far as feels good to you. Breathing in. Exhale, lower it down. And you can do that again, or you can do cobra pose. And you might bring your legs in a little bit closer for cobra pose. You do that again, staying there, coming on up, opening your collarbone, or come up into what might be a much bigger cobra pose than you would usually. Broaden those collarbones. Exhale, lower. And then we're going to come up and back into puppy dog. So I'm going to bring your hips above your knees. You're going to go ahead and walk your arms forward so you can comfortably bring your head and or your elbows down to the floor. So you don't have to make it really big and fancy. Let this be a soft, relaxing puppy dog pose. Letting the hinge happen at the hips, letting the heart drop down. One more breath. And start walking the hands back. Come on up. And swing your legs out in front of you. So if you want to grab like a blanket or a pillow and put it underneath the backs of your hips, you might do that. You're going to take your right leg up, cross it over, lift your left toes, right arm in nice and close. Let's hug the thigh in, lift behind the ears, and soften the belly into a twist. Draw that thigh into the center line. Breathe in. Soften your belly, breathe out. One more round of breath. Release your twist. You're going to take your right leg, open it out to the right side. You're going to turn open a little bit more. So I'm scooching that thigh bone forward. I've got a little bit of space here. Slide your left hand down towards your left leg and then reach your right arm up and over. Releasing the right thigh bone down. Exhale. And come on up. We're going to fold over your bent knee first. Try not to let this hip follow you. Even fold a little bit more over your thigh. You're going to try to leave this hip down. You're going to feel it in like your kidney space, your like upper butt, or even above your upper butt. And you're also going to hopefully feel some opening on the inner thigh. Maybe there's some hamstring. It might even be kind of subtle, and that's okay. One more exhale. And then walk it back. Now you're going to square more towards that front space again, and then come forward in a fold here. You want to think of relaxing the backside of the body, all the same stuff I say all the time, but let us rest here for a couple of breaths. Just be here with your breath and with wherever your body is right now is marvelous. If you let it be marvelous. 2 more long, deep breaths. Walk your hands back. Come on up. For 2 legs, go forward. Fingertips back, lift your heart. Exhale, let it soften. And then we'll take the other side. You're going to take, I'll switch. Take your left leg up and in. And then left arm in, nice and close. Hold the thigh with the right arm. Collarbones lift. The back body lifts up too, so don't go into a crazy back bend. Lift strong through your skeleton, soften the belly and twist. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Right toes are lifted. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Release the twist. Unwind the leg. You're going to come open. You're going to open it up a little bit more. Okay. I'm just going to put something underneath my knee. Just that little bit of support, just so it's not like flying open. And then I'm going to take the arm down, the hand down, and this arm up and over. Releasing this hip bone down. Release your ears. Big breath in. Big breath out. Lift it back up. And then you're going to turn over your thigh. You're going to go ahead and now the hip wants to lift up and follow, right? I'm going to leave it back down. Release this inner thigh. And again, this might feel more subtle in the leg. You're probably going to feel more releasing in the back. Square yourself over that leg, so adjust your space a little bit here. That nice and lifted. Keeping my foot flexed to protect my knee joint, looking forward into this hold. Relaxing the back of the leg. Come on up. Extend both of your legs forward. Bring your fingertips back behind you. Lift your chest. Feel it opening up. Roll the shoulders open. Exhale, soften. Then you're going to take your, take the right leg up. You're going to try to cross your knees and bring your foot back by your hips. I'm on the pinky toe edge of the foot here, right? This is going to get pretty deep into the left hamstring. If you need to not get that deep, I'm going to put your leg on the inside like we just did. Just do that one-legged forward fold again. And you could be putting up on your hips. And then we're going to come forward over that leg as much as is reasonable. It's really going to get into the meaty middle of this hamstring. Know that. And more breaths. Walk it back up when you're done. Unwind your top leg. Fingertips behind you. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, soften it. And we'll go for the other side. So I'm going to take this other leg up and over on the pinky toe edge of my foot. My foot is over here instead of by my hip now. It's kind of hard because my knee's just not bending as much, but that feels fine right there. And I'm still getting the weight of my thigh on top of the other one. I'm able to come forward. Oh, hey, belly of my right hamstring. Good. Good afternoon, sir, madam. Ladies and gentlemen. Find something to soften. One more round of breath. And then start to lift yourself up. Very gently unwind that leg and take both legs forward. Take your flesh, lift it up behind you. You might put a blanket or a pillow underneath your hips to give you more space. We're going to roll forward and come into whatever degree of forward fold. So front to the back, left to middle back, front to lower back, left to middle. And like forearms here can feel good. Maybe you can put your hand in your hands and your forearms here. It feels good, but as long as your back isn't going back, right? You want the whole spine to be more back. Time to lift yourself up. You're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Try to get them in nice and close towards your hips. Hold on to your feet, lift your heart, and then come forward long side, and then softening forward. Push those feet into each other. Take breath in. Take breath out. Pull the legs in, soles of the feet down, hands behind you, push the heart up. Elbows roll back, fingertips face at least mostly forward, if not completely forward. You might even push into your feet, lift your hips up. Inhale, drop those shoulders back, exhale, inhale. Exhale, hips come down. And then you're gonna maybe scooch forward a little bit more in your space. We're gonna either open the knees or have just one leg open, laying down on the back. You might wiggle your shoulders underneath your heart, let yourself be open here. If you have just one leg that feels good to open, I'll let you know when we're about halfway through, and I think I'll actually do that this time instead of forsaking you. I'm sorry. You can always have your hands at the sides of your thighs or some prop at the sides of your thighs for support. Give yourself that gift. We're about halfway through if you wanted to switch. Knowing that you can hold the knees together if it ever gets too intense. One more time, big breath in. Big breath out. Draw the legs back together. And bring your knees in. Hold your feet together, let your knees open up wide. You might need to take your peace fingers around your big toes and give a little rock about. Then start to move the feet upwards towards the ceiling, a little bit more into the hamstrings for happy baby. Bring them in. We're going to go in and twist over towards the right. Not quite done yet. Got a couple more things to do, but starting here. Let the belly soften as you breathe out. One more time, breathing in. And breathing out. Back to the center. Drop those knees over towards the left side, letting your lower back release into this twist. One more round of breath. Come back to the middle. You're going to keep pulling up to your right leg. Let your left foot drop. Slide the left foot out as far away from you as you can reasonably get it. You're going to relax the right leg, let the left leg press out. That's where the action and the tension is. This is as soft as possible. More breaths. Guide the right knee across the body. You can relax the left leg now. Open the right arm out. Soften your belly in. Let that right shoulder drop open. Big exhale. Back to the center. So the soles of both feet down. Find your neutral positioning. You're going to hug onto the left thigh. You might do it behind the knee like I'm doing, or you can position. Extend that right leg out. Let the right leg be active. Let the left leg be soft. Maybe you can even allow your collarbone. Words on our heart. Also pretty freaking awesome. Kind of varies between the two. Somewhere on that continuum. One more exhale. And then you're going to guide the left knee across the body, coming into this twist, opening the left arm. Allowing the lower back to release, the belly to soften, the outer thigh to stretch. One more exhale. Come back to the center, so the soles of both feet down. You're going to do a little more quad stretching. You're going to take your right leg, slide it, and thread it underneath the left leg. Bring the right knee closer to the left foot if you can. You're going to hold onto the foot with your left hand. Relax your left foot down, left hip down if it goes there, but make sure the right knee stays down. So left hip goes down if it can, right knee stays down, whatever you have to do to keep it there. The right arm might go behind the head and you might wiggle it over to the right. Maybe even feel your hip bone drawing up towards your belly button to really release the belly of that quadricep, the very center of that meatiness. Relax your inner shoulder. One more exhale. Start to unwind your arm and your leg. Come back to the neutral position. And then you're going to bring the left knee under, the left foot under, knee is down, hip rolls down when it's able to, if it's able to. Left arm comes behind the head, wiggle it over. Catch the left foot with your right hand. Maybe you feel your hip bone drawing up towards belly button. One more time, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Release your arm. We're going to unwind the legs. I'm going to work towards Tibetan weaponry here. So I will mirror you, and you can see this very odd, unflattering angle. You're going to take your knees over towards your left side. Just go ahead and fold them over. You're going to hold your left hand open like a platter, and you're going to put your leg into it. Now you can stay here and draw the leg over to the side and just open this outer hip. Or if you get up and you look for it and you scooch that left foot closer, you might be able to hold it with your right hand, and then you're going to scissor your legs open, rolling your left shoulder back. Could be if I could have a drone aerial shot of it. Sure, it's interesting. You probably feel interesting. You go as far into this as you want, or you say to heck with it, and you just take another reclined twist. Big breath in. Big exhale. Release that bottom leg. Release the top leg. Just drop everything back to center. Take a moment to soak in how this feels. And you'll go the other side, so stop with the weird unflattering ankle. Take your knees all the way over towards whatever your other side is. You're gonna take your top leg extended out. I like taking this arm to hold it kind of like a platter. And then you gotta kind of go looking for it and slide your leg over, and then you can catch onto your foot. And it's not, you're opening the legs like scissors, yeah? You see that? Soften your belly back. Roll the shoulder open. Big breath out. One more round of breath. Gently release your limbs. Draw them back in. And down onto your back. We're going to end in one more back bend before coming into our final rest. You can take any variation on the back bend. You leg up, cute for bridge. Wiggle your shoulders in. Feet are hip width apart. Let's lift the hips up. Interlace your fingers if you are interested or able to. Feel your heart open up, pushing out all four corners of the feet. Big inhale. Exhale. Release the shoulders. Release the spine down. Wiggle the feet out wider for a moment. Just let your knees knock against each other. And as always, you have some space and time to make adjustments to sort yourself out. You can take any kind of rest that you like. Backs up against the wall,
seated meditation, stay here, or certainly slide yourself out to Shavasana. Take whatever poses you need in between here and there, where it is you'll rest. A few more minutes of softness before wrapping up this practice together.
curl over to one side, drawing inwards in a moment of gratitude for practice, for having these opportunities to practice together from these great distances or sometimes these fairly small distances. And start to bring yourself up and find your version of a comfortable seat. Prop yourself up however you need to. Bring your hands together at your heart. We'll seal our practice, releasing an om together. Big breath in. Bowing down to the love and light and the darkness, all of these things that reside within our hearts. Namaste. Have marvelous days, friends. Thank you all for being here. Let me know if you need anything, if any questions come up.